When you start to prepare and plan for your future career, you will probably also consider what kind of employer you want to work for. And there are many options, but when we ask our students of LUSEM, most of you aim for working in a large global company where you get the opportunity to maybe work abroad, to have colleagues from different cultures and to work in diverse teams. And to this prep talk we have invited Ann-Elise lady from Axis, who has all of this experience and will help us sort out what it's actually like. So why don't you start with introducing yourself and Axis?
Yes, so when I first moved to Sweden in 2009, I had just moved from the US and I was looking for a job where I could speak English at work because I didn't speak any Swedish. And I had heard about Axis being an international company and they had a marketing role, so I applied and I ended up getting a job there.
And how has your career been so far at Axis?
I started, as I mentioned, in 2009, and in the 12 years that I've been at Axis, I got to try a lot of different roles. I started in a marketing role, and then I moved over to the sales organization, and then I went back to marketing, and eventually I got a full-time employment at Axis. And because of the different experience that I got, I was able to grow and excel.
So as I said, many of our students are aiming for working in this kind of company, but how do you know that it is a good fit for you? How did you know over these years?
So I think because Axis grew very, very much. When I started at Axis, it was about 700 employees worldwide, and now we're over 3,000 employees globally. The market has gone really, really well for Axis, so being in a growing company was really exciting because it never got boring. There was always something new, and that has been one of the reasons that I've enjoyed working there.
And could you tell us something that has happened to you at work that clearly illustrates that you're working at this global company?
So a few years ago, Axis decided to introduce an exchange program in order to give employees more exposure to different regions. And so there was an opportunity that came up in Mexico City. They were looking for a marketing manager to come and fill the role of their marketing manager who had left the company. And so I applied for it, and I ended up going to Mexico with my family for 3 months to work from the Mexican office, and that was one of the best experiences I had in my time at Axis, actually, and was able to bring back a lot with me as well.
And what do you think is the best things about working in a global company?
Of course, because I have an international background, I enjoy working with people from different cultures, so that's one of the things. And another thing is, because it's very international, it also means that people are very open-minded. I think that it's a diverse workplace, and because it's a diverse workplace, it makes for diverse employees. And with the type of people that you get working in a global company, it's really something that makes the culture great.
And what are the challenges, on the other hand?
Well, the challenges are, for example, because we're global, it's not always easy to adapt everything we do to fit with all different cultures. So you have to be culturally aware, but you also learn as you go, because sometimes things come up that you don't realize could have a different meaning or maybe even be offensive in another culture.
What would be your advice to our students who are looking to start off their careers in a global company?
I believe that working at a company like Axis, which values the core values very highly, that it's important to be open-minded, and I think that typically people with diverse cultural backgrounds tend to have an open mind because they've experienced. And then we also believe in being open to trying new things, but also open to receiving feedback and criticism, learning and adapting as you go.
Thank you so much for that advice, and thank you so much for sharing your thoughts on this matter to us and our students. And if you need help with preparing for your future career, whether it's in a global company or something else, please reach out to us at LUSEM Career Services. We are always happy to help.